My name is Ainsley, and I am the only child in our family. I have this superpower ability that everything I touch turns to gold, and anything I see turns to ashes. I know many of you don't believe it, but that is the truth. I wasn't born with these abilities. I obtained it when I was 12 years old. 7 years ago, there was an outbreak of a contagious disease called idiopathic adolescent acute neurodegeneration, IAAN. It killed almost 75% of the children. The survivors were left with unusual abilities. Some had increased intelligence, others could control fire, and others had telepathy and mind control abilities. Mine was different from others, and it was catastrophic. Anything I saw with my naked eyes would immediately turn into ashes. I once saw someone, and that person immediately burned and died. The worst part of my abilities was that I wasn't able to control anything. Because of that, I was able to harm people. I had to wear a pair of glasses even when I was sleeping. Everything I touched with my bare hands would also turn into gold. I had to wear gloves all the time. My family had to hide me because the survivors of IAAN were taken by the government and killed. They protected me with everything they had. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere without one of my parents. I was homeschooled because of my abilities. I didn't have any friends to hang out with. To be honest, since I turned 13 years old, I stopped going to school and I was homeschooled. My mom lied to my classmates that I was suffering from cancer. My tutor asked me why I never removed my gloves, and I lied to her that I had a skin disease and I didn't want to infect anyone. She was the only one that came to our house. We didn't have any house help because my parents used to do everything. After the outbreak of the disease, they quit their job and stayed at home. My dad lied that he was working in a real estate company. Whenever we lack money or we need something, I would just remove my gloves and touch anything, and it would be gold. My dad would take it and sell it. We didn't have a big mansion or an expensive car because we didn't want to arouse any suspicion. I know many people would say that I am lucky, but I am not. I just wished I was a normal girl leading a normal life. I wish I could go back to school. I missed my friends, but I can never see them. I wish I could experience what it feels like to be a teenager. All the high school drama, going to a party, and all those kinds of stuff. It is the only three of us that know my secret, and it is for our best. If any other person would know, they might kidnap me and hurt me. That is the reason why my parents forbade me from seeing anybody. I wish I could be the same girl I was before the tragedy. I don't care about the money, because what we have already would be enough for the rest of our lives. I have never celebrated my birthday with anyone except my parents. I wish I could celebrate with my friends when I turned 16, but I didn't. Everybody believes I was paralyzed. That is why I didn't hold my birthday. My parents made everybody believe that I fell and broke my spinal cord recently. This was because everybody had wanted to celebrate with me my sweet 16. When my tutor was around, I had to be in a wheelchair. I am lonely most of the time, and I find myself writing everything I could tell my friend in my diary. There are some things I couldn't tell my mom, and I used to write them in my diary. I kept my journal safe where nobody knew it. This was because I didn't want anybody invading my privacy. I used to sit alone most of the time writing a journal about how I felt. Also, I wrote about my ability to turn everything into gold. One day, my tutor started acting differently, and I knew that something was up. She started treating me with extra care, and when I asked her what the reason was, she said that I was an asset. I didn't understand it at first, but after she went, I recalled it. I ran to my bedroom, and my diary was missing. This meant that Mary, my tutor, took it. I panicked because I realized that she had found out about my secret. I took my phone to call my parents, but there was no service. That was weird because we had never had a network connection problem. I tried using our landline, but it too had no service connection. Someone had damaged our network service. I decided to stay in my room after locking the door because I was afraid if I went outside, Mary would find me. I heard a knock, and I thought that it was my parents. I went to the door, and I saw people dressed in police uniforms. I opened the door for them, and they told me that my parents were involved in a car accident, and I should go to the police station to write a statement. My mind stopped working when I heard that my parents were involved in a car accident. We left the house and took their car. The car was moving at a high speed. We went past the police station, and that was when I realized that I had been kidnapped. The people who came to my house were fake police officers, and that was why they didn't show me their badges and didn't mention their station. I didn't know what to do, and I tried to think of how to escape. I then drifted to sleep no matter how much I tried to stay awake.